Hey, you guys remember Tim Lambesis, the lead singer of the Christian rock band As I Lay Dying, who, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before, he tried to leave his ex-wife laying dying by hiring a hitman to kill her, but the hitman was an undercover cop, of course.
He is in custody right now for allegedly hiring a hitman to kill his ex-wife. I guess he asked himself, what would Jesus do? And Jesus said, I'd kill my fucking ex-wife. And Tim Lambesis is like, yeah.
And he was caught, he went to jail, now he's recently been sentenced. I think he has a 6-year prison sentence now. He'll probably only end up serving 3 or 4. He just did an interesting interview in the alternative press where he talks about how he never really was a Christian. I mean, he was when he first started the band, but then he lost his faith, but he figured, you know what? I'll keep pretending to be a Christian just to make money. And he says that he wasn't the only one in As I Lay Dying who felt that way. Other members of the band felt the same way. He also said that many other Christian bands that he toured with were just regular bands who didn't really give a fuck about Christianity, but use it as a gimmick to sell records, because he said basically like a parent sees, As I Lay Dying, I don't know if I approve of that. And then they're like, but Dad, it's a Christian band. Oh, okay, it's a Christian band. Now it's okay, because Jesus. So he was a Christian who became an atheist, who continued to pretend to be a Christian for strictly financial reasons, and now that he's in all this legal hot water and he's facing down a few years in prison for trying to kill his fucking ex-wife and orphan his fucking children, now he says he's rediscovered God. And who helped him rediscover God? William Lane Craig. That's right, he read the books of William Lane Craig, the dumbest piece of fucking shit ever. If you want to know how dumb William Lane Craig is, just watch his debate with Hitchens. Or, maybe even better yet, check him out on his CNN appearance alongside yours truly.
In fact, atheism is not on the rise in this country. It's around 2 to 3% of the population. And the reason people identify often as not...
It's 5%.
I think it's 2 to 3 from the studies I've seen.
Yeah, that fucking guy actually convinced Tim Lambesis to go back to Jesus. And if you read the AP interview, now Tim is very critical of New Atheism. He says that when he became an atheist, he became convinced that life was meaningless. And he kind of hinted at the fact that maybe it was his newfound atheism that led him down a path so immoral that he eventually tried to murder his ex-wife or pay someone else to murder his ex-wife. It was almost like he was using atheism as an excuse, which makes me question whether or not he ever really was an atheist. But even if he was, nothing about atheism says that life is meaningless. It just says that there is no God, that God doesn't exist. And it kind of makes me wonder, if there's some great meaning of life when there is a God, why does that meaning suddenly disappear when there is no God? I mean, I believe there has never been a God. There isn't a God, there wasn't a God, there never will be a God. And yet I still believe that my life has meaning. I still believe that the lives of those around me have meaning. That's why I don't go around wantonly killing people. That's why I have value in my own existence. And the value that I feel, it doesn't come from God, it comes from me, and it comes from everyone else around me. It comes from the human perception of value, because that's all value really is. Value doesn't mean anything to a tree or a rock. A fucking aardvark doesn't even give a shit about the meaning of life. Only human beings care about the meaning of life. And guess what? Since meaning is a subjective human concept, the meaning of life is whatever the fuck you want it to be. And that includes your right to say life has no meaning. But I don't see how that would be very fulfilling. Anyway, as fucked up as the whole Tim Lambesis saga is, I do find it kind of fascinating. I've got some interesting links to some stories and interviews that I read down below in the comments section. I urge you to check that out. There's just a lot of very fascinating stuff in there. Also down below, links to my book, The Douchebag Bible. We have very few copies left of our current run, so if you're wanting to get that, I don't know when we'll get more in stock. We'll have that down below. If you want the digital downloads, obviously those are unlimited and they're half off right now. Well, very nearly half off. Check that out down below as well. And if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out.